So, October update. Well, my hair's grown back more or less by now, and my body continues its little lovely path towards further decay and ultimately probably towards death. Now, I've been trying to get into contact with doctors like from Switzerland and from all over Slovakia where I live, right? So that failed, more or less. Nobody really seems to be familiar with the rare fungal disease that I have in my lungs or willing to treat it. So at first I was pissed, then I kind of went into a state of not giving a shit again. It's like how I did some meth 2 weeks ago approximately when my fucking doctors pissed me off not wanting to listen to my bullshit, right? So, like my bullshit. Because they think I'm full of shit. No, they're full of shit. I'm the one who reads the academic studies published on zygomycosis, the infection that I have, and when I try to tell them about it, they get pissed. And even though they don't know anything about it and have never seen it before in their lives, which I mean they have confirmed, they seem ever so confident with their treatment. So I've had prescribed itraconazole, these power north tablets, right? I took these for 1.5 months, which by the way are more or less useless for the treatment of the mucormycosis or zygomycosis or whatever. So, anyways, I discontinued using them a few days ago, and I'm not feeling any better. Actually, I'm feeling a lot worse. So, yeah, I did some amphetamine sulfate. So, yeah, it's out of this attitude when you know that you're decaying, but you sort of give up in a way, and you don't really mind anymore whether you live or die, because you know that you're gonna die eventually anyways. And what am I doing from day to day? Just living my little shitty life, at least in the comfort of my bedroom or under my parents' flat roof, so to speak. And it gives me nothing, nothing valuable or noteworthy, anything that I'd call a good or novel experience. So, yeah, basically that's why I did some amphetamine sulfate speed, you know. So I I'm probably somewhat deteriorating in my mental state as well. I'm trying to keep my shit together somewhat. uh, um, so out of this attitude of not giving a shit comes accelerated or sped up decay of my human biological vehicle, right? So, but I don't really mind. I could die any minute and I wouldn't care at all. I have some S-isomerketamine and one dab of acid on its way towards me. So basically with the ketamine I'll be attempting to simulate some near-death experiences. Like, well, I've talked about this in my previous video, how when you're dying, or in the few seconds or minutes before you actually die, um, this chemical, an NMDA antagonist, just like ketamine, called alpha endocytosin, gets released in your brain. Now, that's been proven. I'm not sure about DMT being released at the point of death, but considering its fast onset of action, I don't hold it impossible, certainly. So, anyways, I'm sort of anticipating death. Actually, I'm quite excited about it, really. I just, most people keep thinking that anyone who's this obsessed with death must be nuts. I don't know. I don't think I'm as crazy as a lot of crazies out there can more or less still make rational decisions and, of course, will not directly commit suicide. My taking of drugs from time to time is just a result of my complete loss of faith in the whole medical system that we have over here, and also seeing how none of the other ones have, the ones that I've emailed in Western Europe concerning my problem, have either not replied to my emails or said that they can't help me, or said that my treatment is not that necessary, because in their opinions my illness is not in such a critical stage. Now, a doctor from Switzerland said that, to be precise. I showed him the results that came back from the bronchoscopy, and those were the results that clearly revealed the fungal infection and its exact species, Obsidia columbifera, in my lungs. And before that, I've had a computed tomography scan done on my chest, on which there are no visible abnormalities or necrotized tissue present. But since this is a rather fast and rapidly spreading infection, I'm not sure that it stayed the same way, but either ways, I'm not gonna chase this dragon of healthcare anymore, because I don't think they even care for me at all. Like, I have one doctor right now under whom I belong to, and she's giving me, she prescribed me the wrong medicine, right? And I told her to prescribe me one that is a lot better for treating this sort of fungal infection. She went into fury and told me that I was nuts and all that, so really, like, nobody seems to believe me at this point. Maybe my mom does, but there's only so much that she can do, and even though I don't want to disappoint her, knowing that the prognosis of my illness is ultimately gonna be death either ways, I just don't really care for how soon I die. So I might as well just take my time and have a little bit of fun, or maybe even self-exploration with ketamine or acid before I have to go, because otherwise I just spend my days laying around feeling completely exhausted and filled with negative thoughts most of the time. I'm not filled with negative thoughts. I'm usually in a state of not giving a shit, which easily leads to doing drugs. Now, I don't do drugs often at all. I used to before I got this seriously ill, but my body simply can't handle it anymore. So I I don't know. I mean, the last time I did meth was like 2 weeks ago, and I'm not used to doing meth at all. I didn't do it for 4 months before that, and doing amphetamine sulfate or just regular speed is basically my first time in the last 2 days, and I'm nearing the end of my binge, and it's currently witching hour at 3 a.m. in the morning right now over here, and still can't sleep. I ate some activated charcoal and drank isotonic drinks to get my electrolytes back in balance and so forth. So, anyways, just the usual harm reduction shit that drug users do or should do when they're doing drugs. But obviously, this is not healthy at all, and it's accelerating the process of my body's decay. But I'm so tired of waiting for some miraculous healing kind of thing to appear. A doctor out of the heavens. A doctor to bring me down the right medicine without me having to try and plead to them. Doctors that we over here and present them studies that they refuse to read and so on. So, I won't even go complain anymore. It really doesn't bother me as much as it did. So I'm in a state of, more or less in a state of indifference. Not giving a shit, basically. So, the string on my guitar snapped. I have to get new ones, but I don't really play these days as much as I used to, so it's not important. I might do a few songs and upload them here. We'll see what becomes of me. But in the meantime, yeah, I'm not gonna do any more amphetamines. I'm anticipating the ketamine and the one blotter of acid though. So those should not be too harmful for my physical health and might actually be beneficial for preparing me for the dying process, which is, I don't know, more or less natural either ways, but when it happens and when my physical body actually dies, I'll know what's happening. I'll know exactly what's happening, and I might have some ideas of where to go. I mean, from the explorations that I do with ketamine. I mean, at the age of 12, I met God literally on ketamine. So, stuff like that keeps all the hope in me, and I feel rather reassured, probably more or less anecdotal and intuitively, that it's not just the hallucination, but NMDA antagonists actually produce out of body experiences. They cut off all the sensory input signals from your mind, your brain. So it's only your consciousness, and your body is more or less inactive in terms of receiving input from the outside world. And I mean, there are inner spaces and spaces out there. So once you master how to break out of your inner spaces and travel to other dimensions, that is outer spaces, that gives you real and valuable experience on how you should deal with the processes that might come after you die. The actual process of dying while still in body are more or less insignificant. It's just important to keep a clean head and try to be as conscious as much as you can. Now, if you're interested in this subject, I highly recommend that you read John C. Lilly's book, The Scientist. He's got other books as well, which are great, but The Scientist, I believe, is the ultimate and greatest book that he wrote. So, yeah, read some John Lilly. You'll get to understand what I'm saying. And if you're brave enough, use some ketamine. I'm not endorsing it, but if you wanna, you know, explore outer space, get prepared for death, and you just try that and meditate and all that. So, yeah. That's all for now. I'll keep you updated. Cheers.